In the headlines, INEC set to begin PVC cards distribution ahead of the 2023 elections. Trust television documentary on banditry wins Wole Soyinka Awards for investigative reporting. Residents of Gombe join protests on malfunction of local government funds as cases of poverty rises. And on the international scene, EU sanctions a Belgian trader, M23 rebel, others over DRC fighting. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in detail. Independent National Electoral Commission in Borno State says internally displaced persons in resettled super camps in 15 local government areas will not be exempted from voting during the 2023 elections. The commission said that over 128,000 permanent voter cards are yet to be collected by registered voters. It said registered voters in the state have risen from 2.3 million to 2.5 million. The state resident INEC Commissioner, Muhammad Magaji Ibrahim, said its offices are open next week for collection of PVCs by owners.
You may wish to note that Borno has been home of IDP voting over the years, occasioned by insurgency. In 2019, apart from Abadan and Kukawa, all local governments who have insecurity issues voted in their respective LGAs headquarters. MMC, Jere, Biu, Haul, Bayo, Shani, and Koyakusar did normal voting up to polling units level. Askira has its majority RS who voted up to the polling unit level.
Trust TV's Abdulaziz has won the television category of the 17th Wole Soyinka Award for investigative reporting. He produced Banditry, the Inside Story documentary. Another Trust TV documentary on maternal race in Nigeria, anchored by Zainab Bala, comes third with commendation from the organizers. Abdulaziz is a multiple award-winning journalist who won the Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Journalist of the Year, as well as Investigative Reporter of the Year Online Award in 2018 for exposing the National Youth Corps Scheme exemption certificate forgery of Kemi Adeosun, former Minister of Finance. He is revered for raising the bar in investigative journalism, features, and documentary. His documentary brings to the fore the devastating impact of the banditry on people in the rural areas and how authorities turned a blind eye to the security challenges in the country. Over to some politics now. The Rivers State government has asked security agencies to unravel what really happened in the reported attack on Senator Lee Meba. The state government also said some politicians are staging high-level melodrama to cover up tracks. Gunmen had on Thursday morning attacked the residence of Meba, the chairman of the People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Council in Rivers State. Reacting to Meba's comment suggesting that his attackers were sent by the Rivers State government, the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Okon Effiong, has ordered an investigation into the attack. The spokesperson of the command, Grace Iringe Koko, confirmed the attack. Moving to crime, the Niger State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has intercepted 2 trucks loaded with railway sleepers in Paikoro and Boso local government area of the state, worth millions of naira. The command's public relations officer, Nasser Abdullahi, said the driver of the first truck, Ahmed Lawan, from Jos North Local Government of Plateau State, during interrogations, said the suspected vandals agreed to pay him 1,150,000 naira to transport the items to Ilorin, Kwara State. He said the driver also told the court that the sum of 100,000 naira was given to him, but was later collected to settle the locals who barricaded the road, demanding to be settled before they could allow the truck out of their community. Abdullahi said the second truck was intercepted along Garatu village in Boso local government area of Niger State. He said the driver abandoned the vehicle and fled when he sighted the anti-vandal team of the command.
In his statement, he said he was offered to be paid the sum of 1,150,000 naira to transport the item to Ilorin, Kwara State, which he agreed. The sum of 100,000 naira initially deposited was given to him, which was later collected to settle the locals who barricaded the road before they could allow the truck access out of the community. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, as major stakeholder in protecting the critical national asset and infrastructure in the country, will not relent in the fight against vandalism and will continue to keep 24-hour surveillance in all government facilities in the state.
The trial of suspects of the Offa robbery incident has resumed, with one of the suspects alleging that he was tortured to implicate the former Senate President Bukola Saraki in the robbery incident. At the resumed trial of the April 5, 2018 Offa bank robbery incident in Kwara State, a witness, Shamsuddin Bada, told the State High Court how men of the intelligence response team of the Inspector General of Police, led by DCP Abba Kyari, allegedly tortured him to implicate former Senate President Bukola Saraki in the robbery incident. The witness, who is a former vice chairman of Irekpodun local government area of the state, narrated in court that the IRT operatives said that they were taking instructions directly from the IGP. He also said the IRT operatives promised him while in detention that he would be freed if he named Saraki as a robbery sponsor. The prosecuting counsel later sought an adjournment to obtain a document that he said was not brought to the court, and the case was subsequently adjourned to January 16, 17, 18, 2023 for continuation of cross-examination by the prosecution and trial. The body of benchers in Nigeria has frowned at the use of social media by Nigerian Bar Association to circulate sensitive documents of in-house communication among members of the body. The body, in a statement on Friday, cleared the air on why the letter by the NBA president, Yakubu Maikyau, SAN, requesting the BOB chairman, Chief Wole Olanikbekun, SAN, not to preside over the last call to bar ceremonies, during which 4,711 new lawyers were admitted into the profession, was not debated. It said the letter was not debated at the body's December 5th meeting, meant to finalize arrangements for the call to bar ceremonies, because it was delivered late at the BOB headquarters in Abuja. It added that members did not consider the issue when Maikyau raised it because they were not in receipt of the letter, and the chairman, to whom it was directed to, was not allowed to respond to the letter before the NBA president brought it up. In the statement issued by BOB Secretary Daniel Teller, it was stated that apart from the fact that the NBA's letter was addressed personally to its chairman, it was not an item on the agenda of the meeting, which had been scheduled since November 14th. Moving on, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Pantami, has charged institutions of higher learning in Nigeria to focus on research that will lead to new innovations. The minister gave the charge while delivering the first annual lecture of Africa Center of Excellence at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. Ibrahim Pantami noted that leading economies in the world have shifted from natural resources to digital innovation, and that Nigeria and Africa must not lag in the global trend. The minister appealed to relevant agencies and authorities of universities and other tertiary institutions across the country to ensure that both undergraduate and postgraduate students conduct quality research that can make positive impact in the lives of thousands of people rather than just a mere condition to graduate.
20 years ago, the most valuable companies' positions were dominated by the natural resources companies. But today, even if you are blessed with natural resources, you should immediately extract and harness on it and build the knowledge-based economy. Because the future depends on the knowledge-based economy, not on the natural resources anymore. It is because of this I am glad with the innovative ideas of this very important University Obafemi Awolowo here in Ile-Ife, Osun State. I have been following the innovations coming out from either the Faculty of Technology or the African Center of Excellence. The output is highly commendable.
Ahead of the 2023 elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, says voter registration cards are available for collection across the 6 area councils from December 12 to January 22 next year. The FCT Resident Electoral Commissioner, Yahaya Bello, said that officials will work Mondays through Sundays during the period to enable all registrants get their cards, as no card will be collected by proxy. The report.
Preceding the display and cleaning of preliminary voters register is the collection of the permanent voters card, which the Commission says is being sorted and available at the 6 area councils within the FCT. It equally resolved to devolve PVC's collection to the registration areas and wards from 6th to 15th January 2023.
Collection of PVC in local government and area councils nationwide is fixed for Monday. That includes us in the FCT. We are talking about the states. Collection of PVC in registration area, that is ward level, is Friday 6 January 2023. It will end on Sunday 15th of January. That is at the ward level. So we are going to develop to the ward level. I'm going to give this to members of the press so that they can carry it. The exercise will now revert to local government area council after the 15th of January. It will end on the 22nd of January 2023.
The FCT Independent National Electoral Commission says 272,784 fresh cards are to be distributed, with a total PVCs of 521,790 collected from 2019 through 2022.
195,911, which comprises fresh registration of 90,652, replacement 8,408, transfers, reprint and update 96,851. And up to yesterday, we received another batch of about 76,873. Now, if you add the two together, from last week to this week, we have 272,784 fresh cards that come up, which we're going to start to share by next week.
The FCT, Independent National Electoral Commission, is also working to ensure that the process is simple and hitch-free for residents through display of registers for identification and establishment of helpline desks in an event of unavailable cards. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Price of Irish potatoes beyond reach of some Jos residents. Do stay.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching Trust News Update. Here's a recap of our top stories. We told you that INEC is set to begin PVC cards distribution ahead of the 2023 elections. We also told you that Trust Television documentary on banditry wins Wole Soyinka Awards for investigative reporting. Moving to other news, public debates have continued over accountability for federal allocations meant for local government areas across the country. This comes after President Muhammadu Buhari accused governors of misappropriating funds allocated to local government areas in their states. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail speaks to residents of Gombe local government area on what should be done to ensure accountability of funds meant for LGAs. The report.
President Muhammadu Buhari has accused Nigerian governors of diverting funds meant for local government areas. There are 774 local government councils across Nigeria. We are right now at the entrance of the Gombe Local Government Secretariat. We'll speak to Nigerians on what they feel about this development and what should be done to ensure that funds budgeted for local government areas is given to them.
I am calling Buhari to investigate thoroughly because we know our governors are corrupt, most of them. So it's better for him to set another committee to investigate how they have diverted the fund. It's not good to call the names of the governors, but I'm advising to do it behind closed door so that they can get sanity.
Do you think covering it up is the best?
It's the best. Because it's not good to call their names. It's not good to call their names. But he has to call them personally. And later on, to probably if they fail to do it, then we masses, we need to see their names in national dailies.
And it's not a new thing actually, because it's been something that has been happening for ages in Nigeria. Well, it's sad and it's saddening to know that funds that meant for local governments are being diverted by the state governors, which is very wrong. In the first place, I feel local governments should have full autonomy. For every fund that is being allocated to them from the federal government, they should have full autonomy of use of their funds. So that's what I feel actually.
It is better for the people to think twice before they elect the governors, especially in the 2023 general election, because the president cannot accuse the governor without any fact, since majority of the governors are in the same party with the president. So I think it is not the allegation, but it is a fact.
The hope of Nigerians is to have a strong government at the grassroots level that will cater for their needs. But this is not going to be possible except if funds budgeted for local councils across the country are being given to them. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Residents of Jos, the Plateau State capital, say the current economic reality in the country is taking a toll on them, forcing a change of eating pattern. The residents also say they are worried that prices of commodities keep rising, noting that if the situation continues, people will find it difficult to survive. Ado Musa completes the report.
The rise in the prices of the commodities is not only affecting the consumers, but the sellers of the goods and service providers in Jos. The residents say the high cost of living occasioned by inflation is making life difficult. Hajia Sabua, a seller of Irish potato in Jos, said this year the potato is costly and scarce. She said only few people who are buoyant can afford to buy Irish potato in the market, as a bag is sold at 50,000 naira, attributing the low patronage to the high cost of the product in the market.
You see, this year there was low yield in the potato cultivation. As a result of that, the potato was not much this year. This has also contributed to the high cost. It is not everyone that can afford, and such. Only few people come for the potato, and it affected the house and our income.
Some residents express how the cost of living affect their pattern of eating habit.
Honestly, it is not easy for me to buy Irish potato because it is too expensive. This is something that was recently sold between 20,000 naira to 25,000 naira, but it is now sold between the rate of 45 to 50,000 naira. I can't buy Irish potato for now. We are looking for cheaper food like sweet potato, which is sold at 6,000 naira per bag to sustain our lives. We are not after delicious food now.
I came to inquire for the price of a bag of the potato, but what they told me is different from what I am expecting. They say a bag is between 45,000 and 50,000 naira. I can't afford it. I have to go back home and tell them.
The cost of living in these countries has changed everything. Sometimes before these changes, in the morning, you can eat tea with bread. You can even, in the evening, sometimes you can even buy a meat and whatsoever. But now, in the morning, you can even eat a food popularly called garo garo. In the morning, you can eat it. And no tea, no even milk. So sometimes you can even use Lipton.
As the prices of goods and services continue to affect the eating habit of hundreds, many are calling on the government at all levels to re-strategize economic policy that will help to cushion the effect of rising inflation in the country. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Thank you, Ado Musa, for that report on the cost of living. Moving on, construction of 54-kilometer Ngalda-Mutai Road project at Ngalda town of Fika local government area of Yobe State has been flagged off. Governor Mai Mala Buni, while flagging off the project, recalled that Gujba Mutai is being executed through the multi-sectoral crisis recovery projects. Northeast Development Commission is undertaking the project to open up the rich agriculturally endowed communities and facilitate easy movement of people, goods and services to stimulate more agricultural, commercial and economic activities in the benefiting communities. Bunia appreciated the Commission for the construction of the 500 mass housing units across the state, distribution of relief materials to victims of insurgency and disasters, training on smartphone repairs and computer graphics design, and the distribution of startup parks and startup capital to over 330 youths, among others. The managing director of NEDC, Muhammad Al-Ali, said the project is one of the interventions that the Commission is executing as part of its mandate towards recovery, reconstruction, stabilization, expansion, renewal, and sustainable development in the Northeast region.
The Commission and all the diverse partners and stakeholders in the North Sea region have realized the critical importance of road infrastructure. Therefore, commensurate attention was accorded the transport sector in the Northeast Stabilization Development Plan. It will recall that the construction of the 40-kilometer road from Gujuba to Mutai along the Gujuba-Ngalda road started earlier and is currently going on. Recently, the Federal Executive Council approved the construction of the remaining 54 kilometers of the road by the Commission at the cost of about 12.2 billion naira. We are gathered here today to flag up this project, which is critical for improvement of security, livelihood, connectivity, and commercial activities, including transborder trade here in Yobe State.
On the international scene, the European Union has imposed sanctions on a Belgian gold trader, rebel chiefs, Congolese army, and political figures for fueling fighting and human rights abuses in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The EU added 8 people to its list of sanctions over violence in the conflict-racked eastern region. It also extended existing sanctions against 9 others. The 17 people are now subject to EU restrictive measures until December 2023, which consist of a travel ban and assets freeze. The EU sanctions come after the United States in March sanctioned Goetz and his Ugandan-based African Gold Refinery for the illicit movement of gold valued at hundreds of millions of dollars per year. Still on the international scene, a Brazilian vessel carrying more than 4.6 tons of cocaine valued over $157.4 million has been intercepted in an operation off the coast of Sierra Leone. The vessel was intercepted by a French Navy helicopter carrier roughly 400 miles off the coast of Sierra Leone, according to Europol. The NCA, U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, and Brazilian Federal Police collaborated to uncover the battle criminal networks involved in cocaine trafficking between Brazil, Africa, and Europe. This collaboration resulted in the operation. According to Europol, the 21-meter-long Brazilian ship where the drugs were found was sailing towards Europe when it was intercepted. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.